Hello, all of my sleepy bears. My name's Chronically Blue. Welcome back to another episode of Sonic Frontiers: The Final Horizon Update. Last episode, we finally completed the very first tower, and sweet goodness, that was a unique experience. The only bright side is that we get to jump all the way down once we have finished it, and never have I felt my fear of video game heights more than in this DLC. I have never played Toy Story 2 with the elevator level. For those of you who have played, I'm sure you understand the fear of heights as well. But if you haven't, I also haven't played it, so, you know, cool. But at least we're going to take it a little bit easy with a level, I believe. Yes, we're going to go ahead and start with 4B, or just kidding, or we are. There we go. What do you mean you can tell this was pre-recorded? What? That's ridiculous. That is insane in the membrane, insane in the brain. Cypress Hill. But yes, we're going to go ahead and do this level where we have to get all the number rings, all the silver moon rings, but finish before hologram tails and rescue all of the animals and the fish, as well as get the S rank, because I've done it every other time before, why not now as well? It doesn't make sense to walk 7/8 of a mile and then give up on the last eighth. You just walk over there, unless you're having a medical emergency, in which case maybe don't. But, you know, few and far between. Oh, this level. I forgot how much I hated this level. So, this level is... I don't know how to best describe it. It's just... There's a lot going on. There's a severe lack of rails, so you really gotta be careful with what you're doing. If you find anything that locks onto the homing attack with, just go ahead and use it. The most important thing is to just finish the race first. That is the very first thing you should do. Just finish the race, and then go back and get the S rank, the number rings, the moon rings, and the animals. Because everything else that you do after that, it won't matter. It doesn't matter if you finish Tails before or after that. I feel like I said that wrong. Let me try that again. Once you finish Tails, you can do everything else no matter if Tails is ahead of you or not. The level will not end once Tails reaches the goal. It ends once Sonic reaches the goal. And as you can tell with all these decapitating platforms, you're going to have to be light on your feet. And be really careful with that green platform there. If you are boosting right off of it, then there's a good chance that the collision will not detect, and Sonic will just fall through the floor, and because there's no checkpoints in these levels, you will die and have to restart. Isn't that fantastic? I know it is. It's so much fun. Anyway, after all that, we do finally have the goal, but I know that's not the only thing that we're here for. We're here for the number rings, the moon rings, the animals, because we gotta save the animals. And actually, we got the S rank there, and look at that time. Just the milliseconds before we got to the A rank. So, we did it. That's all I'm happy about, is it's one less thing that we have to worry about. Now, the number rings, thankfully, are not that difficult. The moon rings are very difficult, unfortunately. The first thing we have here is we're going to go ahead and help the animals. So you may not notice it, but if you keep an ear out for the sound of the animals calling to you, then you'll be able to find them. Basically, once you go through, and you just got to keep your eyes open for any little bouncing color specks that don't look right because you're going too fast. As well as, like, we also have the Eggman bumpers again, because why don't we? And we have another animal friend here, as well as the moon rings. I might have talked about it before. If I have, I apologize. We're going to go over it again. What happens with the moon rings is that once you collect the very first one, you then have to go and get the rest of them before they disappear. There is a set time limit on them. It's not a matter of which one you get first. It's just a matter of overall. You got to get them. So, again, we are focusing on the animals right now. And if you get all the number rings, the moon rings, and the animals, and you die before you reach the goal, you gotta do it all over again. So, you're going to see me taking my time on these areas just because they're very annoying. Now, we're going for the number rings now. You gotta go 5 all the way to 1. You cannot skip 1. You have to go through them all. If you do 5, 4, 3, and then you do 1 and you don't get 2, you're going to hear a really sad sound, and you're going to have to redo it. But the only way to redo it would actually be to die and reset the stage overall. It's not great, but it happens. Okay, that is the final animal that we needed. And we also have the number 3 ring right here. And you're going to see Tails get really close to the goal, but again, even once he does touch it, nothing happens. The line becomes black instead of red, but that's about it. Now with this number ring, you gotta take it a little bit easy, because again, it is on a platform that will move upwards once you touch it, so if you mess up the first time, you don't really get it second time. You just gotta get it right. And then we have the very final number ring. And now we can show off this little area that I skipped over the first time. It's not bad, it's just takes some time to get used to it. So we have the buzzy beetles here that we have to attack, and then once we are done homing attacking them, we gotta make sure to be careful of our space in our jump. Because if you destroy them all and then you accidentally did a double jump beforehand, you're gonna fall down and have to do it all over again. You're gonna see here I am not using the speed boost because Tails already won. We don't care. We're going Sonic time now. We're not going Fast and Furious time. Which is funny I say that because I've never seen a Fast and Furious movie, or I have and I just don't remember watching one. That could also be true. That's something that I'm trying to do now, because all my life I've been da-da-da-da. That's from the Foo Fighters anyway. I would say that, oh, I haven't watched it, and my parents would be like, yes, you have, you've seen it, or you've had it all the time, this, that, and the other. And I didn't realize how annoying it was until someone close to me was like, oh, I haven't watched it. I'm like, yes, you have. We watched it together, like, last year. And then I'm just like, oh, maybe it's better to say I don't remember watching it, because then I'm not dismissing their memories, but I'm still being true to myself, you know? I feel like that's just the better situation there. So here we have the moon rings, and I hope you know how to time your dashes and your stomps, because you're going to need it. And the very final one right over here. And again, if you mess up, too bad. You gotta die and restart it all. But at least with that, I was able to go ahead and show you how to get those, so then we can move on and see what happens once we get to them all. Climb the trial tower. Then it becomes blue, but we don't get the cog back. Sad. But we got 4 Lookout Coco, whatever they do. We cleared the missions and got the additional Lookout Coco. Now, what happens if you just go through and beat the level and nothing else? I have to assume nothing happens and you just have to go through and actually do at least one of the missions. That's what I'm assuming anyway. Now, if you recall, we have a lot of these circular Cocos where we have to go with them with a specific person in order to activate a big majority of the map. Rest assured, I can thankfully let you know, we will be able to play as the characters at a later point. The credits will not roll before we finish it, so don't you worry about that. We will be able to focus on it, which is very nice for me, because I was really panicking there. I'm just like, I want to do the thing. Hello, please. Hello, please. So, rest assured, we will be able to take care of that. I don't know if that made you lose some nights of sleep. It kind of made me think about it a little bit, so at least that's a positive. Now, with this second trial tower, it is going to be very annoying. Very difficult, very annoying, because when we go over there, we're going to see some giant red pillars that, funny thing, only Knuckles can ascend, which is why they are red. But I had to look it up. I was just losing my mind, and I found out that, hey, there is some stuff for Sonic to do in order to get up there. So, I look up the stuff very rarely. I do not look it up for overmap stuff. I only look it up if I'm having severe difficulty with either the trial or getting over the first part of the trial tower. Just the first part. Finding where it is and what do I do. That's it. I have not spoiled anything for myself, and that's really good. Now, these rails that we complete are really going to be our friends here. They really are, because they are what's going to be assisting us with getting over to the trial tower when we have no idea how else to get there. So that's going to be very helpful. So if you look down, you will see, hey, there's nothing down there. There's literally nothing. There's, like, we see the red pillars, and we're like, cool, but there's no way to get up the trial tower as Sonic. So we have these little bouncing balls here. I will warn you that this is not the path to the trial tower. I know, it is lame, but what will you do? So we have to be very careful to not get hit like that. But hey, it's something. Now obviously we are not Knuckles, but we can still break some of the purple stuff by using a homing attack or a regular jump. And we found a Lookout Coco, whoop-de-doo, because we don't have enough of them. And again, these are red, so Sonic cannot come up. So you can obviously see my confusion. You can be like, wait, if they're red pillars and we can't get up them, oh, well then we need Knuckles, right? Funny thing. Let's just see what Knuckles has to say once we find him, if we find him. He is visible on the map, but, you know, let's see what we can say to him. Now, obviously, the Guardians are meant to be defeated as Sonic. I'm sure if you are devoted enough, you could take them out with Tails, Knuckles, Amy, but Sonic's just at a much higher advantage because we have him fully leveled up to the max. The New York Max! But, meh. It's just something that we will take care of at a later date. The Guardians are never my priority. In fact, I don't think you even get anything for destroying all the Guardians other than a trophy. So, it's not at the top of my priority list. The map and the missions are at the top of my priority list. The levels, meh. They're helpful. For me, anyway. Helps me at least feel somewhat accomplished. But it's not something that we're going to work on right now. Although we do have another level right on over here. Along with the Odococo. Hello, Odococo. He won't talk to us because we finished everything. So he's like, I'm like, okay. Don't drink too much eggnog. Apparently eggnog, no, it's not. I've always considered eggnog a December month drink. You know what I'm talking about? Like that is specifically for December. But some people say that it is for the fall season in general. Like, no, it's not. Pumpkin spice and apple crisp, or not apple oatmeal, not apple macchiato, apple cider. There we go. Apple cider is also a fall thing if you are lactose intolerant, like myself. But I guess some people decide that eggnog is for fall seasons. I'm not going to stop them. I'm going to give them a weird look, but that's about it. You know, you do you. It's your money, you take care of it however you want. Now here we have this level, which, honestly, it's kind of nice. It's nice to have a new element here that we haven't seen before, which is the low gravity. And if you are someone that just loves wacky physics in old games, this is definitely gonna get your cheese. You're gonna be very happy with this. The low gravity, it's very nice to see Sonic make a huge double jump, boost, and go off the rails for quite a while. It is so much fun. Hey, look at that! The penguin fell off when we jumped off something. Good to know that for the future reference. Don't worry, we are not going and rescuing all the animals in this trial. Right now we are mostly focused on just getting to the end, as well as showing off the hidden goal, which I wasn't aware that there was a hidden goal, but I found it by accident, so go curiosity. Now, do you have to go through and get everything in the stages? I don't know, but I'm doing it anyway because that's just what I've done, and it's hard to break a habit. Again, as I've said multiple times before in the Let's Play, this is the only 3D Sonic game where I have specifically sought out to go through and get everything. all the stages, all the S ranks, all the missions, all the number rings and moon rings, and saving the animals, all the maps, the skills, the rings, the cocos, all of it, and even the additional stuff that really, really made me question if it was worth it, such as the boss rush and the cyberspace challenge. And after I did all that, I'm just like, sweet goodness, I hope I'm done. Then they announced the Final Horizon DLC, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm glad this is it, because I cannot take any more. So rest assured, if you are going through the game and you have not seen this part, then it's going to be fun. There are some genuinely good parts here. I kind of like the haphazard level design, where things just kind of aren't really level. There's different stuff. There's something new every stage. It's nice. It's nice to get something significantly different. I feel like they might have cut out trying to go through and be like the previous Sonic levels. That's what I feel like anyway. Whether or not that's true or not, I don't know. But if you see this ramp right over here, yeah, that's kind of telling us to go on over there. So, you know what? We didn't have any difficulty. We're going to go on over there. And when you go over here and you see all these floating platforms, you kind of feel like, did I do something wrong here? Am I supposed to be here? You think, well, maybe I am supposed to be here. And then we see the giant car tunnel, which, it's a beautiful thing. I love the carpool tunnel. But we have a blue goal, which is the first time we've seen this. This is known as the hidden goal. But now that we've done that, we are going to go ahead and show off how to properly get the 5 numbered rings. And I do have to specify the numbered rings from the moon rings. The number rings, I want to say those came from Lost World. The moon rings, I'm not too sure what those came from. I want to say the moon rings probably came from Unleash. If not, then most likely Lost World as well, but I don't remember them being in Lost World. Then again, I only played Lost World on 3DS, which, that's a way to play it. It's not the best way, but it's a way. I think I beat Lost World on 3DS. Everything blends together with that game, unfortunately. Like, it's a lot like New Super Mario Bros. You play it, and it's just something to fill the time. Like, yep, this is completely average. I wasn't expecting anything better or anything worse. And you just completely and immediately forget about it once you're done. It's like, name something defining about Sonic Lost World other than the circular platforms. Yeah, you can, I know. It's hard. And if you try to bring up the Sinister Six, really? Really? That's where you're going to try to save? You're going to try to go for the Sinister Six? The only reason why we are talking about the Sinister Six is because in Team Sonic Racing, you can play as Zavok, the big red guy. And that's it. Like, we have 5 other characters. Like, I would not be opposed to be playing a racing game as an old man character. I'd be completely fine with that. But, meh. I guess it's just not what the press wants. But I'm only here to complain about Sonic for so much. Here we have this cute little penguin, and I want to say that the sprites they're not directly taken from, but they are heavily inspired by the Sonic Adventure ones. Because I've definitely seen these cute little animals that pop out of the enemies that you defeat in Sonic Adventure. And then you spread them out in the Chao Garden, and then the Chao take really weird forms that make you question if any of this is morally right. But, meh. So here's the cannon here that we're just going to immediately ignore. We have a Flicky here. And the only reason why I know the Flicky's name is because, 1, it got its own game, and 2, it was the focal point of Sonic 3D Blast. If you ever played Sonic 3D Blast, you would know it is a very unique adventure. Is it worth your time? I'm going to go and say probably not. but I went through and I 100%ed it for a review on an old channel that's no longer up. So I know the stress and annoyance of it all, but meh. Once you get the Chaos Emotes, then you really don't have to worry about anything else. The Chaos Emotes are going to be the most difficult part. Once you do that, then it's just a matter of the isometric view platforming that can really get you bonkers. It'll just get you all over the place. I'm like, I thought I was jumping on here, but I'm not. I'm just not really a big fan of isometric games for, like, that reason. Like, if there was anything other than platforming, I'd be all for it. I'm like, hey, you want to make an RPG game that's isometric view? Go at it. But the platforming is really... It's got to be really well done, or else it'll be super easy to fall off and take damage, or this, that, or the other. Or you think you're hitting at me, but you're really not. It's unique. But Bastion is really the outlier with that, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, I mean. If you've played Bastion, like, I saw one person review Bastion like maybe 5 or 6 times, and I'm just like, this doesn't really look like fun. But then you play it, and you're like, oh sweet goodness, this is actually a whole lot of fun. Like, why have I slept on this for so long? So, if you were to give any isometric action/platformer game a try, I would highly recommend Bastion. It is a really fun game, and I've even made a Let's Play on it. I can go ahead and link that at the end of the video if you're really curious about it. But while I am sitting here rambling on about Bastion, we are actually about to find the third and final animal here. That's right, it's a hen. I think it's a hen. Right? Yeah, that's a hen. I think hens are female and chickens are male. I think. I'm trying really hard. I'm not good with knowing all the different animals that are the different names for the species. Like, I know cows are female and bulls are male. I know that part just due to the really funny meme I saw of someone complaining about them naming all the cows female names. Alright, now we've gone through and done the hidden gold, the number rings, the moon rings, the animals. It is now time to go and show off how to get the S rank, which it's a little difficult, not gonna lie. It's very unique. You really have to make sure that you have everything down to almost a T. You have to understand the physics, so after you mess around a little bit, after you get the timing, the placement down, that's when you're gonna be really fine. So we restarted there, because obviously the timing of the cannon, not the best. I am really glad though that we don't have to worry about Sonic's angle on the rails. That was something that was, while cool, was also annoying in Sonic Adventure 2. If Sonic was leaning all the way to the left and the rail was going to the left, you're going to slow down significantly. And I always thought that you could fall off the rails, but I guess that's not possible. Maybe that's just my brain, or Sonic Heroes talking. One of the two. Then again, if Sonic Heroes is talking, we're in some deep trouble, because that's 12 voices at once. Which, no, I'm alright. I don't need 12 voices at once. I'm very fine with my 0 voices talking. And when I say that, I mean to say that the amount of times I am asked what's going on inside my head, I very happily reply, nothing. And that is the whole truth, the full truth, nothing but the truth. At most, I might have a song in my head, which, as of right now, it is American Dream by Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, which is known as one of the worst albums by them. And I don't deny it. I don't deny it. I'm not saying American Dream is a good song. It's just one that's stuck in my head. So, the amount of times I've listened and thought of American Dream, it's insane. But I know quite a lot of people that have many voices in their heads, and they just can't have silence for a single moment. I'm like, yeah, I get that. I mean, I don't, but I understand what you're saying. I can understand the idea of it, but no thoughts in here. There is 24 hours in a day, and there's no reason for me to spend any of it thinking, period. And I know it's like, well, what do you mean you don't think? That's impossible. I spent a lot of time thinking and stressing about stuff, but now I'm just like, meh. If it happens, it happens. I'm just gonna go with the flow, and that's more or less the best way to do it, honestly. You just gotta turn your brain off and be like, nope, I'm not thinking about anything. And the things creep in, and you're just like, hey, that's nice, but go away. So, we have finished 2 trial towers. But that's not it. We got 4 lookout cocoa, an additional 3 for doing all the missions, because that's kind of what I've been doing at this point in time anyway. And yes, Sonic still has the crown on. Don't at me. Okay. We've done the 2 trial towers. What do we have left aside from worrying about how to do the... Wait, hold on. I think I said that wrong. We've done 2 levels, but we have not done 2... Am I having a concussion? We did the 2 stages. We don't know how to access the trial tower. So, what do we do instead? Well, I believe there might have been some missions that we need to take care of. Or Sonic can keep following. That also works too. Oh, that's not good. I got a little alert on my computer that's saying that there's a closed road on a place that I live, which is not fantastic because I'm going to see my parents today. Well, gonna go see my mom today. We're gonna carve pumpkins and watch a lame movie, but it'll get me in the spirit of Halloween-y, and that's fun. Like, even, like, my whole thing is, if there's a tradition of doing something that is specifically with your family, with either if they're divorced, or if they're together, or if only one of them's still alive, I highly recommend doing traditions, just because, 1, it's a nice family memory that you can always count on. 2, it always gets you in the spirit of the holidays, unless something horrendous happens. So it's kind of an escape. It really makes you forget how old you are, and you can just be at ease with being like, you know what? I'm doing this thing. I don't care what anyone says or sees. I'm doing this my way. It's my way or the highway. And the highway is currently closed. So, it's my way. So... that was unplanned, by the way. But it's just nice. The traditions are ways to kind of put chapters, more or less, into the months. Like, hey, someone got this diagnosed, someone got a flat tire, this, that, or the other, but if you can still come together to do the tradition, even if there's people there that you don't want to see, even if there's people that you do want to see and they don't show up, it still matters, because you are still showing, hey, no matter what, we will always have this. And that means a lot to me. Now, one time, on Thanksgiving Day, unfortunately, I got the Big Sick, which I'm sure YouTube has relaxed itself on the mention of it, but let's just say it's the big thing that happened in 2020. That's right, that Backstreet Boys reunion tour. I got that on Thanksgiving. It was 2022, actually. So, a little bit later. I got in my shots, got the whole 9 yards, but I got it. And it happened specifically on Thanksgiving, and we found out on Thanksgiving Day. So, what did we do? Well, we stayed home, stayed sick. By me, myself, and my partner, we just stayed away, because that's what's best for everyone. But they did something awesome. They brought over food that they made, and like little Tupperware containers, and that really meant a lot to me. Then again, just being able to eat the food and like keeping your distance, that's really nice. Now, I really hope that doesn't happen this year, but just in case it does, I've already bought medicine that was... It wasn't on sale, but there was an event going on. But if you bought some medicine, then you got a $5 gift card. So it helps me and it helps my partner because then they have something to use whenever they want to get something at Target or whatever. But traditions, they really mean a lot to me. And if anyone has like any magical traditions that they very much enjoy and makes them feel at one with the spirit of Halloween or Thanksgiving or just Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, anything like that, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to read through the comments because it's just a magical time. I love all the different traditions that people do. One of the other traditions that we do is we listen to Light Rock 99.3 and listen to Delilah. And what she does is she takes calls from people and like they tell her stories or like traditions, or they ask her to play a song to help them spread goodwill or cheer for people that are at, across seas or anything like that. And there was this one time, we are never gonna let her forget it. But it was a story of a guy that called in, and he and his girlfriend had been dating for 8 months. No, sorry, 8 years. It was 8 years, actually. And he surprised his girlfriend with a washer and a dryer. And Delilah responded with, "She doesn't want a washer and dryer. She wants a ring, honey." And we went off on her, and it was fantastic. I will always have that memory to cherish. That is just one of my favorite memories to look back on. How my enemy's enemy is my friend. It's really hard to bond over a common friend, but it is super easy to bond over a common enemy, and nothing proves truer than that specific moment. So it's a beautiful memory that I hold and always will for as long as time keeps going. Just if I hear the word Delilah, I'm gonna think of the plain white tees, and then I'm gonna think about she wants a ring. It's beautiful. It really is. As well as another holiday memory that I have is something had recently happened to my dad, and I won't go into the details here, but we wanted to do something together because I've always had the holiday traditions with my mom's side. I didn't really have a whole lot with my dad's side. So I'm like, hey, what if we go to this movie theater that's playing It's a Wonderful Life, a Christmas classic, one that I had never seen before. Or if I have, I don't remember seeing it because I was too busy being self-absorbed. One of the two. Anyway, so we decided to go and watch it, and we did. And it was actually a really good movie, and it reminded me about the spirit of Christmas. Granted, a lackluster way of doing it, and when you look back on it, it's a really dark movie, but nonetheless, still a really good movie. And ever since then, every year, my dad and I will get together and watch It's a Wonderful Life. And what happened here was, after hitting the 3 panels, we have to go back to the middle to touch the middle panel again for it to officially be done. But I have It's a Wonderful Life on Blu-ray. I have the color and black and white version. And I don't know which one is, like, more meaningful. I want to say the black and white version is more touching, just because it, like, takes you back to when that movie was being made. The color version, it's good. It's not bad. If you prefer color over black and white, you do you. But the black and white version really takes me back to that time period, and I'm just like, wow, even back then. And there's so many quotes that just last forever. Like, do you know how long it takes the working man to save up $5,000? And that is truer words never been spoken. But enough of this holiday rambling. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you all next time with more Sonic Frontiers. Goodbye, my Seeky Bears.